This is Jam Nation.
With Jonesy and Amanda.
Well, Prince Harry's book, Spare, the name of it says what you get an heir and a spare. In the royal family, that was a big deal. We've got our heir, the other one's just there. And he obviously has struggled with the connotation of how people have viewed him. The same goes for Princess Margaret, who was the Queen's sister. And they weren't born to be heir and spare. They were going to be nieces of the king. But when Edward abdicated,
That's
there
right.
they were. Suddenly they were going to be the Queen and the spare. And it's the same sort of thing, even though it's a different era and that she was a woman in a different era for Princess Margaret, all the privilege and none of the purpose. And that's what was hard for her because she fell in love with a married man. He was a divorced man. I think he was part of the royal household in terms of a military sense or looking after the horses or something. And she fell in love with him. They wanted to be married. And it was the Queen's hard job to tell her, well, I'm sorry, but as the head of the Church of England, I cannot allow this.
Wow.
So he was Margaret, who wasn't royal, was royal, but she wasn't the Queen, and yet her life was impacted by all of that. And that's what they say from the very early days, and particularly if you watch The Crown, you'll see all this play out,
Yeah.
is that her dissatisfaction with, I can't live as I want to live. I don't get the purpose that my sister has, but I'm still not free.
And they're siblings. That's so hard.
And
It's
they were very, very close.
Charles with Andrew saying to him, you can't have any more powers anymore.
That's right. Very, very
And
hard.
Andrew went the blub.
Yeah. And Margaret hadn't had any indiscretions. She just fell in love with a person who had been married. So she went on to marry Lord Snowdon, but he had a lot of affairs, and it was a kind of a
Is
tawdry
he the one who
kind
used
of
to
thing.
take pictures for Playboy?
He was a world famous photographer, if that's what you mean.
He did a whole thing for Playboy.
Yeah, but also he took all the royal portraits as well, clothed.
Jeepers.
He was clothed, don't know about them. But I was reading an article about her morning routine. So the Queen would get up and have to look through the boxes, which is all the information. She's the head of the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Margaret's routine. She'd begin her day at 9 a.m. with breakfast in bed, followed by 2 hours in bed listening to the radio.
I said, I'm listening to our show.
She's passed away
Not
now.
even doing the Magnificent
Or else she
Seven.
would have enjoyed it. So she wakes up at 9,
Yep.
lies in bed, and then listens to the radio and starts smoking while she's reading the newspapers. Her staff find the newspapers all over the floor. So that's how she spends
What,
the
she was
first 2 hours.
spontaneously combusting.
Perhaps. At 11 o'clock, she'd take a bath. Ooh! She wouldn't shower. She'd take a bath, followed by having her hair and makeup done at her dressing table and a vodka pick-me-up at 12:30. She never wore clothes more than once without having them laundered, and then so she'd get changed, around lunchtime. What a way to spend your morning every morning. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, she would join the Queen Mother for a 4-course lunch that included half a bottle of wine per person, and then they'd have fruits and cheese. Apparently the Queen also liked a liquid lunch. I don't know if she did that every day of her life, but this was Margaret's everyday routine. So then in the afternoon, she sort of had Hollywood friends and blah, blah, blah. But this was the morning routine before she actually went out and had a social life in the afternoon and the evening. She also smoked 60 cigarettes a day.
In those days, everyone smoked 60 cigarettes a day, though.
Yes, but when you look at the life that the Queen had to live, and this is what you see play out in The Crown, the earlier season, is she says to the Queen, I don't have any purpose. And the Queen says, look at the life you can live.
Yeah.
I can't smoke 60
I
cigarettes
want
a
to
day.
get on and have it off with Mick Jagger.
I want to do all of that. I can't do any of those things.
Yeah.
Well, that's the rumour. That is the rumour.
That she had it off with Mick Jagger.
That she was entwined with all of those
Of
people.
course, you're getting all the action.
Getting all the action, and you've still got your crown on.
And there's the Queen just sitting there going,
Yeah, going,
hello.
oh, great.
This
Oh,
is
great.
boring.
I've got to sit here and sign forms about
Yeah,
Australia.
What about my needs?
Yeah. So that's the Princess Margaret's morning routine. How unlike the home life of our own dear Queen.
I don't know about having a bath in the middle of the day.
Bath at any time. But
Do you have a bath?
A bath at night at the end of a long day can be very nice. A bath in the morning, yuck. You don't wash off any grime. You sit in it. Sometimes I'll have a shower after a bath because I like bubbles in the bath, not the monkey. and then you don't feel like you've cleansed.
Yeah. Well, but don't you instantly Didn't you
It's
go
hard. It's hard not to wee in a bath. I know that's what you're going to say.
Didn't you go to a fancy high-end resort?
I did.
And the lady ran the bath for you.
And not only that,
spoke in lovely tones.
She got a deck of cards out of a variety of spiritual wildflowers, and I had to intuit and pick my favourites, and then she put those flowers in the bath. I got in and weed. It wasn't a communal bath, let's just say. The Turkish bathhouse won't let me back.
That poor woman's just going, what
Well,
a
she
waste.
wasn't in the room. She wasn't
what
there.
a waste of time.
She wasn't there. It's very hard not to in that warmth.
And you'd had a Barocca.